Okay, look, I get it. This one's super controversial, but look, before you take to the comment section trying to cancel me, just hear me out. Pantheon is stupid. Well, okay, stupid might be a little much. How about extremely overrated? To be honest, stupid was just a ploy to get you here, but now that you're here, I want to talk about my beef with Pantheon. Starting with the budget cut piece of crap that it is, to the fact that it could have been a freaking giga, but absolutely crapped the bucket. Starting with my long list of issues with this ride, let's talk about the ride model. I don't like this model at all. Look, Flying with Dragon comes out and I mean, it's cool, then you gotta ride like Hagrid's, it's amazing. Then that dueling coaster in China. Now I feel like everywhere you turn there are these multi-launch shuttle coasters, and heck, some of them aren't even Intamin at this point. Now, I don't have anything to complain about when it comes to Skyrocket 2's, Mr. Freeze clones, Montezuma's Revenge, or any traditional launching shuttle coaster. My issue is with the coasters that have a launch into an element that it doesn't fully clear, like a top hat, vertical loop, or non-inverting loop. Now you might be asking yourself, why do you not like them? Because they are a massive gimmick. I hate the fact that Intamin took a mistake of theirs and thought it would be a fun little idea to make it into an element of its own. Like the fact that your technology isn't good enough to launch a train fast enough to clear a section of track doesn't mean you should try and embrace it and turn it into its own element. Look, rollbacks are cool, and I'm not going to say that it's a bad element, but if you really think about it, rollbacks should never even existed in the first place. This is just one big gimmick, and for some reason, it just annoys me enough to make a video about it. The next thing that just drives me up the wall with this coaster is the theme. What happened to your money management? Look at these animations. This concept is amazing. And what did you do? Plop a stone down with a couple of concrete paths and call it a day. You went from this to this. I mean, this just screams budget cuts to me. You're freaking Busch Gardens Williamsburg. You constantly get praised for being one of the most beautiful parks in the world. Last I checked, the Pantheon didn't look like a pavilion in a grass field. It's just embarrassing. You even let Six Flags theme a wild mouse better than your flagship attraction. I'm sorry, I know I'm coming off a bit harsh here, but with the amount of potential this had, I should be even more angry than I already am. A coaster, a launching coaster, themed to Roman gods. Think of how cool you could have made this. I mean, the least you could have done was put some sand down in this grass field, like anything but grass. Heck, even just paint the grass tan or something, I don't know. Anything is better than just plain grass. If SeaWorld Orlando can put some stone down for Icebreaker, the least you could do is make this look like some sort of beach outside of Rome or a beach for the gods. I mean, come on. So let's say we're talking about the physical ride and not the theme so much. But man, don't even get me started with this layout. If you think that layout is good for a second, you are wrong. You guys already know how I feel about this shuttle section, but the problem doesn't end there. No, my friend, it only begins there. The only thing that is true classic Intamin on this coaster is the top hat. But other than that, nope, forget about it. This thing looks like Vekoma when they tried to rip off the Aero Looper. I mean, everything on here is just copy and paste from RMC. And if we gave slack to Vekoma doing that 30 years ago, you bet I'm not going to let Intamin off the hook for this one. I mean, this isn't even a classic Intamin Zero G roll. This isn't Intamin. This is most definitely not Intamin. Intamin wishes they created that. And well, this could have almost been Intamin if it were just banked maybe a little more. Now, you're definitely yelling at your screens right now on the fact that this point is just really, really dumb. And that the fact that I'm wrong. And when you think about it, every roller coaster in the world is just a ripoff of another coaster. And while I don't think ripoff is the right word, I would say inspiration. But this is just straight up copy and paste. And very uninspiring. It's sad knowing that Intamin was one of the most innovative manufacturers at one point, and now they resort to this. I mean, if you think of a classic Intamin layout, you think of Skyrush, Maverick, I-305, Hyperion. These are all innovative and great. Now you might be asking yourself, well, what about the new gen Intamins? I would say that these take more inspiration and are more inspiring. Like Conda takes inspiration, but still has some classic Intamin moments, like a non-inverting Cobra roll. Like what? Only Intamin would ever think of that. Then there's Velocicoaster, which still drew inspiration from other RMC layouts, yes, but there are still some true classic Intamin moments. For such a legendary company, this is not a great world-renowned product they've produced with this one. And coming to my last major point, this one was just a rumor, but a very good rumor at that. Now there's a smaller channel out called Theme Park Media who used to upload, and he posted only theories about coasters, and one of his theories was about Pantheon and the fact that it was supposed to be a giga. I don't want to steal anything he put in his video, so I'll link it down below, but just watch this short clip explaining what I'm talking about.
As godly as Pantheon might seem, it just can't compare to its original concepts where it crossed the Rhine River from Oktoberfest to Festa Italia, and surpassed the heights of Intimidator 305. Pantheon was a giga. Maybe you've heard of this, maybe you haven't. Regardless, here's the proof given to me by a former SeaWorld employee. There are tons of clues pointing towards Drachenspire not being its own ride, but instead being a part of a much bigger project. Project Madrid. It has a compact layout, doesn't take up too much space, goes backwards, and most importantly, it sits across the river from Pantheon. What if Drachenspire was designed into Pantheon, but because of complications building over the water, they had to split the coaster into two? I mean, the rides are nearly the same, except one is a traditional shuttle coaster, and the other one has more of a layout.
I mean, come on! That would be insane! Like, not only best coaster in Virginia, but top 10 easily in the world. I mean, could you just imagine a stall going over the river? That would be nuts. With Giga Pantheon, the opportunities could have been endless.